Hey superstars, it's Gavin speaks. Here's how to manifest your dream life, how to create financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, and live a life of fulfillment. I'm actually living my dream life, doing my purpose at work. I'm doing something that I'm passionate about and I make a living from it. And you can do the same too. And we have to break the ties. We have to break the mindsets. We have to break the ancestral curses, the ancestral mindsets, of our past, our history, our subconscious patterns, our behaviors, so we can really break free of this idea of money and what success really looks like. For me, success looks like me being fulfilled. Success looks like me being happy. Success looks like me having time. I only work a few hours a day, right? 2 to 3 hours a day. On the weekend, I work a little bit longer, maybe 6 hours on the weekend, because I do a live call with my group and it goes long. And this didn't happen by accident. This happened through me really wanting freedom from the matrix, really wanting freedom from the rat race, really wanting freedom from the traditional system. I just didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't get it. And I think a lot of empaths, I think a lot of indigos, I think a lot of people on the planet right now who are spiritual kind of want to break away from the system. They don't want to work for the man. They want to work for themselves and they want to create multiple streams of income. So the sun is shining in my face right now. We've got the beach behind me. Let's dive into it. So many years ago, when I was age 11, right, I happened to be watching QVC, like a shopping channel. And on that shopping channel, this guy named Kevin Trudeau was selling a program called Mega Memory, all right? Now, at the time, I wasn't doing well in school. All right, I had a low self-esteem in school. I felt like I couldn't read properly. People used to laugh at me in class because I couldn't read, right? And, that forced me to have an insecurity about my memory, my ability to concentrate, and all of this stuff. And so later on in life, when about 16, 18 years old, I got diagnosed with attention deficit disorder and dyslexia. Now, I don't have this identity with ADD or dyslexia. I have moved away from that mindset and realized that, hey, I'm just different. They can put a label on me and say I'm ADD and dyslexic. However, maybe I'm not designed to read books. Maybe I'm not designed to learn in the way that the traditional system likes to learn, right? And so at age 11, I went through this program called Mega Memory, and it helped me improve my memory. And I was learning from cassette tapes, and I was able to take notes and learn in a different style, and it really worked for me. And then I realized, actually, I'm not dumb. There's nothing wrong with me. I can actually remember this stuff. I'm just being taught in the wrong way. Does that make sense? And so this is when I first got into personal development. And because of getting into personal development, I started hearing people like Les Brown and Brian Tracy and Robert Kiyosaki, talk about financial freedom. Talk about how to live a life of freedom and doing something that's purposeful and breaking through traditional way of making money, So, that planted the seed for me to know that actually I don't really want to work for anyone, right? When I was younger, I did want to be a builder. I wanted to build buildings. I wanted to lay bricks for some strange reason. I don't know why I wanted to do that, but I wanted to be a construction worker. And as I grew older and I got into school and stuff like that, I got into IT. I also got into music. I got into work. I was working for IKEA, and I just realized it just wasn't for me. I was experiencing some hardships at the work I was at. I actually quit my job, my 9-to-5 job working for IKEA, because there was some racism going on, and I didn't agree with it, obviously, and I left. And I just like sort of went after my dreams after that. Lo and behold, I actually got into a lot of debt, right? I thought I could make it. I thought I had all the tools that I needed to start my own business and live a life of freedom, but it didn't work out that way. So I got into a lot of debt and I had to get back into work again. So I'm saying all of this, I'm letting you know this, because actually some people think, because it didn't work the first time around, I should give up. But you know what? Like, I tried multiple times to get where I am today. So, I got back into work, I cleared my debts, and I started my business over again, a little bit more strategic, right? And so I started my own business. I was teaching people how to create websites and get their videos on YouTube and stuff like this. And, I started making money off of it. Eventually, I hired a coach, and I paid $500 for this coach. And this coach, showed me how to make more money, right? So I paid the $500, and by the way, I didn't have the money, right? I didn't have the $500, but I borrowed it, right? I borrowed the money, paid the $500, hired the coach, Within 2 weeks of hiring that coach, I made $2,500. So I made $2,000 profit, all right? And I would say I've made way more profit than $2,000 because actually I went on to make more and more and more over the time. I don't know how much, it was a lot, okay? And so, during this time, I hired coaches, mentors, and I would keep on learning and growing and expanding. So I invested in myself. I didn't really say, oh, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna go through blogs and YouTube videos and trying to figure it out for myself. No, I actually hired someone who's been there and done it to close the gap between where I was and where I wanted to be in life. And so it took me 2 years to make my first online sale, and then another 3 years to 4 years to go full-time doing full-time work from home, working on the internet, doing what I love. And when you're working from the internet, you can work from anywhere in the world, right? When you work a 9 to 5, most of the time you're trapped down to a physical location. And so that requires you to be in a certain country, and you only can take vacations 2 times a year, 2 weeks a year, or, and, it creates, some people like being settled like that. For me, I like to be free, okay? And I like to be able to explore. My star sign is Aries, and Aries like adventures, be adventurous, right? And getting out there and exploring. And so one of the things I started doing as I started making money online is I started traveling all over the world. I was living in Thailand for 6 months. I traveled to many places in America. I went to Dubai, I went to the Maldives, I went to Spain, I went to Greece, I went to Costa Rica. I've been to many places, I can't even count and remember them. Singapore, right? I've been to Africa, Morocco, right? I've been all over the world, and I've traveled. That's called location freedom. I don't have to be set down in one place. Now, I also created financial freedom for myself, which is basically making more income than my expensive in passive income. And so I was making more money, going out. Like I was making more money than I was going out in passive income, and that allowed me to have financial freedom. So basically, I'm not needing to work or exchange time for money. And these days, again, like I said, I only work, 3 hours a day, maybe 2 hours a day, sometimes 1 hour a day. It depends on what needs to be done in the business, but I work very little. And I set my business up in that way because I don't want to be exchanging my time for money. Okay, so these videos that you're watching right now, I don't edit them. I have a video editor, right? I have someone promoting my videos from my YouTube videos. I have another person handling my emails. I have another person handling my calls, my manifestation diagnosis session calls. And you can actually go and get that in the description. I offer an alchemy energy reading and a manifestation diagnosis session in the description to find out what vibrational frequency you resonate at. All right, so make sure you go check that and go and get your energy reading. It will dramatically change your life. All right. You need to resonate at a high frequency in order to manifest way better, okay? And that's going to help you do, or support you with, all right? And so I have someone handling that for me. I have a business partner too. So there's like 5 or 6 people working for me, okay? And so all of those man hours, I've passed it on, and a lot of these people, again, I'm not focused on making money, by the way. I'm focused on helping people, all right? So I could be making way more, and I used to make way more in the past, by the way, a lot more. Right? I used to charge $25,000 to come and meet me in person, okay? So I used to make a lot of money back in the day, and I traded all of that for my passion and what I do now, speaking about spirituality, speaking about the law of attraction, speaking about personal growth, speaking about leaving the system, right? And so I could be doing all these jobs myself, right? But I'm passing those man hours to someone else. And by the way, it's not expensive as you think, And so, you'll get to that point when you start doing your own thing. But what I'm saying is, I hire people who live in other countries where the cost of living is less. So I can pay less for the same services as, if I was hired to someone in the UK or in America or whatever it is, I would have to pay a lot more, for the services that I'm asking and requesting for. Does that make sense? And so my costs are very low. And I'm actually going to be speaking about cost of living in just a sec, because where I'm living right now, the cost of living is extremely low. I'm gonna break it down for you, especially if you're on your own and you wanna live a life, freedom. You can really make it happen for yourself. And it depends on how much you make and stuff like this, but I'm gonna dive into it in just a sec, okay? So I created a business so that I have time. The money is secondary to me having time, okay? The number one priority for me is heart, right? The heart. And helping people, transforming people's lives, integrity, making sure I'm doing my duty here, my mission here, my purpose here in life, all right? Secondly, I need freedom. I need to be free. If I'm not free, I feel depressed. If I'm not free and I feel trapped, I do not like it, all right? So I create freedom over money. Money is the third thing, all right? So money comes third, okay? Everything else comes first, right? So for you, you need to figure out what it is for you. Do you want to create something where you're tied down to the business, tied down to the opportunity, tied down to the thing, or do you want to have freedom to do what you want when you want? Okay, so right now I'm at the beach and I'm actually living in a really small studio flat here in Dominican Republic, and I actually found it on Airbnb, all right? And guess how much it costs per night? Drum roll, please. All right, it costs 16 pounds, British pounds per night, which is actually $20 per night, which is actually $650. It's actually around $650 per month, okay? $650 per month for my rent in the first place that I bought, rented. The second place that I've rented, which is what next month I'm gonna be going to another place, it's actually $700, right? Around $700 to $800 a month. And then the next place after that is around $700 a month as well. Okay, and the last place that I'm going to is a big place. It's a big place. There's a huge view of the entire ocean, you know, the nature and all of this stuff. It's like on the mountains. It's beautiful. I'll show you pictures on screen right now so you can see it. All right, it looks absolutely beautiful and it's amazing. And there's a vegan place nearby, and you know, it's amazing. And being out here, things have manifested for me in magical ways because you know what? I'm using the law of exposure. The law of exposure is when you expose yourself to environments that manufacture the success that you want. For example, if you want a car, right, you need to go and drive that car. You need to go and test drive that car, or perhaps go sit in that car. If you want a new home, you need to go in the home and explore it, feel what it feels like. So for me, where my vibration is at on the vibrational chart, which I'll show you on screen right now, right, I resonate at the top, right? And so when I go out and explore, I experience more, right? If I stay trapped within the same routine, same thing every day, I don't see as much benefits with the law of attraction as I do when I go out, because the universe can only reach you so far if you're only doing so much. And that's why you have to go into the unknown and do things that you wouldn't usually do. That's where the universe opens up in a big way for you. That's where the feminine energy is at. That's where the law of attraction gets really, really powerful. However, if you're just doing the 9 to 5 every day, you're coming home from work and it's tired and it's all this stuff and it's the same routine over and over and over again, it doesn't create space for you to have these amazing manifestations, amazing experiences going on in your life. You know, I had someone recently manifest $35,000 in my group, and you'll see the testimonial on screen right now. This doesn't happen by accident. This happens through people actually raising their core vibration and transforming their lives in powerful ways using my systems. So me being here in the Dominican Republic, I'm actually paying less than most of you pay for your rent, right? And I have freedom, and there's no contracts. And by the way, you know, I got 5 months worth of a Airbnb rental, and I'm paying for it monthly. Airbnb allows you to pay monthly. You don't have to pay all up front for all places, all right? And so I'm not tied down to any contracts. I'm not tied down to any bills. I'm not tied down to anything. I'm free. I'm free from the system completely. This is where you want to be at, all right? You don't want to be tied down to the matrix. You want to break free from the matrix. You do that by creating streams, new streams of income, and maybe even moving to a lower cost of living lifestyle. Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Thailand, Philippines, all of these places, and you can do more research on this, there's actually other places in Europe and different places like that where the living cost is extremely low, where food is cheap, water is cheap, electricity is cheap, all of this stuff is cheap. Cabs, you know, the taxi here on Uber was extremely cheap. It was like $5, you know, it's extremely cheap, and it's actually quite a long drive. It's like a 20-minute drive, all right? So it's actually cheap to live here, especially if you're earning an income online from USD, GBP, you know, you're earning in a higher, stronger currency. Does it make sense? And so start manifesting now this life of freedom. You know, if you want to start your business, starting your business in another country might be more beneficial because the living cost is low. You don't have to earn as much, right? And you can have the freedom and the ability to be on the beach, right? Enjoying a life of freedom and happiness. Does that make sense? I know I keep on touching the mic. I'm just making sure it's straight so you can hear me. So for me, life is too short, right? I don't know whether I'm going to pass away in the next 5 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to pass away tomorrow, right? In some Muslims, I've had some friends in the past, they use this word, inshallah, inshallah. Inshallah means God willing, right? And my old friend, my old mentor, he used to say, you know, hopefully we'll meet up tomorrow, inshallah, all right? God willing, because we don't know if we're gonna meet up tomorrow. We don't know what God has in store for us, right? And so, I'm sure you heard the saying, if you wanna make God laugh, show God your plans, right? And so, time is of the essence, all right? And we all, if you're watching this video, chances are you have a purpose, you have something that's meaningful to you. Make it happen. This video is more about motivation to let you know my story. I grew up in the ghetto, you know, I was diagnosed with ADHD, you know, attention deficit, you know, dyslexia. I struggled in school, I failed in school, didn't do well, had a job where it was racism, you know, I've had a narcissistic, abusive relationship, I've been mentally abused, you know, I've experienced all this stuff. All right, and I'm sure you've had some traumatic experiences yourself. But what I want to let you know is you can create a life of happiness, fulfillment, joy. You know, just stop chasing the bread. Stop chasing paper. The paper is the problem, right? And this whole new world order, right? This system, this reptilian agenda, what it's designed to do, right? Is that what's happening is they're moving away from the current currency and they're trying to make a new currency, all right? And so the longer that you chase money, the more you're a rat in the race, right? And many of us are trying to manifest more money, right? Manifest more money into your life. I wouldn't suggest doing that. What I suggest doing is manifesting how can I contribute more to the community, to the world, and money will naturally come. So as long as you set yourself up to receive it, all right? Starting your own business doesn't need to be hard. Starting your own business can be very easy. All right, but we've been taught that it's hard. You can be a spiritualpreneur, meaning you can do something that's heart-based, something that's meaningful, and something that you're passionate about, and make a living from it, and really transform your life. If you have kids and you have a lot of costs and stuff like this, you still can't make the excuse, right? What is life worth to you? And are you willing to break ties? Are you willing to break free from the matrix and really live in a life of freedom? We met someone about 3 days ago, and she used to be from actually London, which is actually interesting, London, and she lived literally one borough, which is like one area away from where I used to live. How crazy is that? She speaks well, she speaks British, and she came over to the Dominican Republic, right? She started her own business, she started a Jamaican restaurant, right? And she started selling real estate here, and she became a millionaire within 1 year. 1 year. And this is not a millionaire in gross income. This is a millionaire in profit, meaning money that she has in her bank account, she's made over $1 million or £1 million. How crazy is that, right? She didn't stick to the system. She escaped the system and she made it happen, okay? Possibilities are endless when you raise your vibration to the right level and when you use the law of exposure and you get out there and you explore, right? You have to trust in the universe. You have to trust in God. You have to trust in the Most High, right? And surrender to this idea of thinking that you need money, right? You don't need money, right? You need to think outside of the box, right? That's the key, right? And allowing yourself to open yourself up to the full abundance that you know you truly deserve. So we love supporting people in creating more freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, all right? And in order to get there, one of the easiest ways to get there is to raise your vibration correctly. So on this vibrational chart, chances are you range between the middle and the bottom of the chart, all right? You wanna be in the top 5 frequencies on this chart at enlightenment, peace, joy, love, or reason. If you're there, then you're in the top 5 frequencies, the law of attraction works for you way better, and then you're able to manifest a life like this. You're able to manifest things a lot easier, especially if you're using the law of exposure, all right? And if you want support in getting to the top 5 frequencies, then get the free energy reading and the manifestation diagnosis session in the description, all right? And also check out my previous video over here and check out my 3-part series over here on how to raise your vibration correctly. And remember to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.